Good morning, good morning. There's the bell. How are we doing? It is Tuesday, and the SPY is continuing to recover, at least so far. But there's a major resistance coming up at the high from yesterday and the high from Friday, which is actually testing as we speak. This is a major zone on the SPY right now. SPY could end up breaking through here and going for a bigger run. As of right now, it's been very strong this morning. We can see in pre-market, SPY initially gapped down slightly, but bounced off of 666, 665.50, and roared back to life. It's been interesting to see SPY attempting to pop up since the end of last week. Last week on Friday in pre-market, SPY was doing great and then died off into the end of the day, making a new recent low. Then popped right back up yesterday, and today coming back again. We saw some good movement from Nvidia initially yesterday. They started doing good again in pre-market today too, but it looks like it opened. They started giving it back, unfortunately. Gosh, I loved their pre-market action though. It was looking awesome. AMD had a pretty good pre-market as well. Intel, good pre-market, but it opened. They're dying off. Look at Intel here at open. Gosh, 2% drop. They were actually green in pre-market, strangely enough. It's a pretty massive pullback right there. Good morning, Wes, Zachary, G-Dog, Tank, Jake, Xavier, Broker, or wait, Broke, Ape, Rick, Jason, Tangy Man, Almighty, Manicured, Toro, Good Guy. There we are. You all said GM. What is GM doing? No, I'm just playing around. I've fallen for that one too many times, but thought it would be funny. Tesla testing lower end of its support zone here on the daily. This is going to be tough for Tesla. If Tesla starts to really pull back under here, be ready for a bigger drop. Watch that lower support zone right around 382 very closely. Oh gosh, Manicured. What are your thoughts on buying the Nebius dip? NBIS pulling back a little bit today, down 7.5%. I think that there could be some opportunity here with Nebius. I would not be surprised if it pulled back a little bit on this dip and then started to go up some more. I'm not saying that it's going to be a good dip buy at this second, but over the next day to couple days, I could see it providing that opportunity on the dip. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it, Cornish? Yeah, I saw that. That was funny. I was like, Cornish doesn't know that that's tomorrow, does he? But that was funny. A green tie would be pretty awesome. What if he did? Because he's almost done, so. I'm really curious what he does on his very last FOMC press conference or decision. I'm curious if it just goes normally, or I don't know why. It would be funny to see like some fireworks from Jerome Powell as he goes out. But I don't want him to do anything drastic or anything too crazy. I'm just saying it would be pretty wild. Drops the mic. Oh, a rainbow tie? Now that one would be crazier. Yeah, we're going to get a green day. Happy St. Patrick's Day out there. St. Patty's Day. I know a lot of people love it. I actually made some St. Patrick's dinner last night. Had some corned beef and cabbage and all that. It was all right. I would have rather had spaghetti or something, honestly. I like it, but for some reason, the last couple times I've had it, it just hasn't been as good. Oh my God, Jason. Nebius is really pulling back here. You're no kidding. That's going to be an interesting opportunity. I've also been eyeing up Navitas Semiconductor as well, but unfortunately they're pulling back at open with a lot of the tech stocks. I don't know what's up with these chip stocks, but a lot of them had some nasty opening candles and nasty opening moves. USO. I'm watching that 114 support closely on USO. This is a huge zone. There's a lot of supports in play, but I love USO at 114. This is a big support. If this gives out, I think there could be a lot of opportunity trading it to the downside. Of course, we could possibly see a continued bounce and great recovery off of this, but I'm looking for that pullback as the Strait of Hormuz and oil starts to, I don't know, calm down a little bit. Wherever we see the rhetoric start to slow up a lot. Hey! Let's go, Robert. He says, I have returned. Hope all's well, everyone. I would like thoughts on SHEL. I think everyone overlooks that gas stock. And do you believe tomorrow will be a red day for the Fed meeting due to the war? Thanks. Yeah, I do think that there's a big possibility that the Fed meeting tomorrow turns some red back into the market. But let me look at SHEL, which is one, you're right. It's one that I don't look at as often, but it's still a pretty big oil gas company. Oh my gosh, 91.84. It's been straight to the upside. So my biggest thoughts here with SHEL is that it's up a lot right now. I think it's a little bit overextended personally. I would be careful buying up here. Now, I'm a fan of SHEL long term, but we need to be careful on buying too high, especially on massive rips like this. I mean, that is one hell of a uptrend with SHEL. I'm surprised I have not heard more about SHEL in the way that it's moving, actually. That's been very consistent, a lot better than even a lot of these other like real oil companies, like let's say Exxon or anybody like that. But Shell is doing great. Kanjiman said they're most exposed to the Middle East volatility. Dang, well, it's helping. Whoa. S14 Tim. I like that car on your picture. Quick $731 scalp on Amazon. On open. Thanks from Japan. Hey, there we go. Have a great night, Tim. Or S14. I can just barely see that car, but it looks pretty cool. Amazon up 1%. 5-minute chart. 214.72. Let's go see Tesla here. Tessie has had some crazy back and forth here at open. Trying to bounce higher, but very choppy, very choppy. The initial candle was red, but now it's bouncing back. Very strange open for them. Back to NVIDIA we go, which pulled back hard on open. Watching to see if that downtrend continues. That's going to weigh in on the SPY in the market, but I don't know. The SPY hasn't really cared too much, if at all. It's up 0.7% and is still moved very well at open. Actually, right through resistance here at 672 to 672.50. That's a big resistance zone. It's pushing up towards 674.50 to 675 and then 676, which is the next larger zone that I have up here overhead. Pretty good open, though, I gotta say. How are those banks today? Whoa, Bank of America. Nice 2% pop back. That's a nice one. JP Morgan as well, 291.50, up 1.8%. How about Boeing? Why won't CCJ break down? Let's see, CCJ. Cameco Corporation, 1.62%. That's a nice pop there, CCJ. Very nice pop up to 111.80, 112. Holding its ground here after dying off. CCJ has been stuck down in this lower zone. If we zoom in, you can see how much it retreated from the high over the past few weeks into March, but it's not the worst ever, really. It just a little pullback. CCJ is a pretty volatile stock. It was a 22% drop, though. Pretty decent. It's kind of stuck in this wedge right now, though, bouncing off support zone. At the same time, it's not really breaking out in a massive way on the daily chart, but it is on the intraday chart. I'm with you, Tangi. Why won't it break down? I think it's just stuck for now. AAL is starting to turn, good guy said. Yeah, American Airlines bounced down to support there. Down around 1030, 1025. Good hold. Back up to 1096 now. Definitely helps to see oil going more in the right direction. Airlines also moved today. There was some airline news that had come out. Let me see if I can find it really quickly here. Where'd it go? It was like that, they said that, here we go. They said growth was good. Delta and American. So DAL and AAL raised revenue guidance, citing growth and demand. That's what it was. High demand. So yeah, demand is growing. Delta said it's seeing strength across the main cabin, premium, loyalty, and more. That's probably because Southwest stopped the free checked bags. Everyone's like, well, if I have to pay a lot, I'd rather go to Delta. Delta and American raised revenue expectations for the first quarter on Tuesday, despite carriers dealing with higher jet fuel prices since the Iran war started. So despite the higher jet fuel prices, they're raising. That's pretty funny. They're raising revenue expectations. So that sounds like a pretty positive deal here. Good morning, Ramirez. Sorry, I was reading a couple of those paragraphs there. Didn't see anything that was really exciting beyond the revenue, but yeah, Delta and American, good news today. The airlines are popping back. Delta's up 4.8%. You can see how much they're really bouncing back up here at the moment. Good overall run. Meta up a nice 1% today. Gapped up yesterday morning. They're starting to do well again today, pushing that high from yesterday, potentially going for a bit of a breakout. Good morning, RSB. Healthy cooking. Good morning. What do we do with Navitas? Yeah, it's pulling back hard. If you're looking at more of a dip buy, or if you've been holding it or something like that, you're going to want to go ahead and watch this support very closely. If this gives out at like 990 and we start to see it sell off under that, you're probably going to have to close it in the short term. But if you're having like a nice long-term position with shares, you're probably okay to hold, as, you know, if it's a long-term position, it's truly long-term. This has been an interesting setup though with Navitas, I must say that. No problem at all, cooking. No problem. Back to the SPY. Switch is still done pretty good. Sitting around 674.17 at the moment. Watch for 674.75 to 675 is the main resistance. That's really what I'm eyeing up here as we see the SPY come back. Past there, 676 is pretty big too. So there's a little 20 cent range or so. 25 to 30 cent possibly range there. I feel like today's deserving of the Pump It Up song. What do you think of NVIDIA's Drive Hyperion to challenge Tesla's Robotaxi? Yeah, I think that that's going to be pretty big. I'm not sure if it's going to end up being as good or as large as Tesla's, but I think that there's a lot of potential there for that. A lot of potential opportunities. I think that you'll probably end up hearing them get into more contracts with larger automakers, and at least for, like, let's say testing purposes and maybe trials, and I'm sure that they're going to be really pushing for some of that. Ooh. Uber partnered with NVIDIA. What did I just hear? Uber's up 5.89%. Oh, they're doing that stuff with Uber. I see. They're going to launch L4 software-driven robotaxis on Uber across 28 cities by 2028. Yeah, exactly. Like little news like that. I'm sure that we'll see a lot more of that coming too. Xavier's all for the comp. Hey, more competition usually brings in good products, so I'll take it. I don't mind either. Checking back in on the banks. Bank of America, JP Morgan slowing down a little bit now. Just slightly. So back to the SPY. Let's look at the Mag 7 actually. Do a little comparison here. So every stock in the Mag 7's green today. No wonder SPY's up. Microsoft's really pushing on the top right, along with Amazon on the bottom right. Those two are right around their highs of the day. Tesla looks pretty solid as well. NVIDIA, though, looks weak on the bottom left. Tangy said gold and uranium miners are up. GDX gapped up today. See some silver. SLV, GLD not doing much, but the mining companies are, like Tangy said. UEC, UUUU. I know there's a lot out there, but 1390 on UEC hitting resistance might break out. Oh, you did? That's good. Xavier said, I also received a wave of dividends. Beautiful. The more the merrier on dividends. Obviously, there's some arguments against them, but... You said you went with Oracle and Palantir. I'm sitting on my hands for the rest of the day. Palantir, looking pretty good though, 1.74%. Moving higher here to 156. Oracle as well. Those two really aren't terrible here. Oracle looks pretty solid coming up off of this dip. I love setups like this where the stock will have a big rip up like what Oracle's had, and it will consolidate. And right now, it's at the very bottom or end of the consolidation phase in my eyes. I can see this one breaking out a bit next couple days. Starting to run up a bit more. Of course, a lot of these software stocks are beaten down. Adobe's another one that is coming back up. They had bad earnings last week and died off again. They've been dying off, and, well, they tested that low. But I could see him trying to pop off for another day or two before maybe attempting another turnover and move lower. Rocket Lab. RKLB's up 5.4% on fire, pushing the high of the day. RKLB is up here. AST Space Mobile up 4% as well. Nice stair step up this morning. A lot of momentum flowing into AST Space Mobile. AMD even looks solid now. It came back. It's now up 1.15%. Beautiful comeback and recovery by AMD after that opening dip, because that opening sell-off was pretty brutal for AMD. Earlier, Robert said, do you think that tomorrow will be a red day for the Fed meeting due to a war? You know, whenever I look at the Fed meeting coming up tomorrow, that is going to be huge. I will be live for it as well, guys. 2 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be live right here with the interest rate decision, and I'll have Jerome Powell just after it. That'll be fun. We're about 30 minutes into open now at this point. Overall, still nice and green on the day. SPY is starting to slow up a little bit at this second. Disney's popping off, up to $100 a share. They're up 2% today. DIS getting some movement coming through. Delta also pushing towards pre-market highs and high of the morning. The airlines have had a lot of good price action here, so keep your eyes on DAL at this resistance. It is huge. It's triple topped here so far this morning. Would be huge to see a good break coming through. Delta. American as well. They're pretty solid. United. Not as nice looking as Delta in my eyes, but they're still up a lot on the day. I'm going back to Rocket Lab, though. Because Rocket Lab is like a rocket ship here, blasting off. And then I started blasting, they said. Adobe only moving because I started my long-term position recently. Just my luck. It's hard to catch a falling knife on things like Adobe, so you'll have to have some patience probably if you're in shares on that one. Thoughts on Boeing? Yeah, you know, I've liked Boeing's price action up here the past few trading days. I could still see Boeing moving lower, though, overall. It's strange that they've been pulling back so hard. I would have thought that they would have followed some of these defense stocks up over the past few months, like the beginning of 2026 to now, but it's not really the case. I mean, from the beginning of the year to now, well, it's actually like right at the same range, really. It's technically red a little bit, but pretty much right there. Mason, when does the tournament start? How many people are in here now? Jacob has to fill his bracket out still. Same with Hunter. And my #1 fan, Mr. Pancakes. I wonder if it'll show me your bracket. Let's see. Nope, not yet. Tomorrow, okay. It's kind of what I thought. I didn't think it was... I knew it was going to come later this week, but... that will be nice. Checking in on some headlines here. Switch back to SPY. U.S. pending home sales. Hit 1.8%. The forecast was negative 0.6%. And the previous was negative 0.8%. Sounds a lot better than what they were expecting. Poll, the U.S. average home prices to rise 1.8% in 2026, 2.5% in 2027. Versus 1.4% and 2.7% in Q4 2025's poll. I don't see that as being anything too major for the market. Earlier, Netanyahu said there are many more surprises in store. I still feel like there's a lot of surprises in store as well. Things are crazy. See if Rocket Lab can keep it going or not. Have ALM down 5.8%, but recovering back intraday. Popped up on the SM bot, so figured I'd give it a look. APO. Pretty good day here as well. Now, this is actually interesting. I saw an update this morning from Amazon, and the reason why they're probably moving so well, and yeah, it looks like they had that nice pop in pre-market as this news released. Amazon is launching 1-hour delivery in hundreds of US cities. I think they're launching 1-hour and 3-hour deliveries. This is pretty huge. 1-hour delivery. Can you guys imagine like buying something and it's there within an hour? Holy crap. I don't think I could even go to the store, get all the stuff, and come back in an hour. That is wild to me. Zero Hedge on X said it was bad for Instacart. Guess it makes sense. Does Instacart have a ticker? I don't think they do. Cart. That'd be funny if that's what it was. Oh, it is Cart. I was going to say, I thought that was their logo. It says Maple Bear Inc. That's who must own them. Yep. Maple Bear Inc. is doing business as Instacart. I see. Good for Amazon, bad for Instacart. More drones, maybe. You know what? That would be pretty cool. I know that they've talked about that a lot. Imagine Amazon drones flying all over the place. I don't know if it would be cool or not, actually. I take my words back. I take my words back there. It will be interesting whenever that comes out. I don't know if I'll like it or not, but... He said, how are they going to get it there? Teleporting with what transportation? Quantum superposition deliveries? What? Soon they will just beam the food straight to your stomach. You won't need to waste time eating. You guys have seen Willy Wonka, I know. I know you guys have seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Remember that kid on there? Pistol Pete, I think it was. Or I can't remember his name. Maybe it was Tommy, actually. I know he, I know that the kid on there had like he's dressed up like a cowboy and they beamed him. They were trying to beam things right into people's houses on there. That would be hilarious if that came true, but I don't know. I don't think that we're going to see that one in our lifetime.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Whoa, how aggressive. How aggressive by him. Once drones become commonplace, air traffic control will be in high demand. Good point, Xavier. I've actually been watching a lot of stuff on piloting lately. That's been kind of my, I don't know, my, like my free time videos. That's what comes on. My leisure time. Usually watching some pilots flying or something. Man, Tessie is really pushing that high of the morning. Maybe I'll get my own plane here soon. I'm gonna buy a Cirrus. I'm just kidding. I would like to pilot. I feel like that's scary, though. NVIDIA, crazy sell-off here, down to 182.07. Yeah, that's what everyone on YouTube's flying, Sean. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I see so many people talking about those. Or in them and owning them. And oil's gonna double. They are suppressing the price. They did this for silver, and then it went from 60 to 120 in weeks after it was already up big. I think what would really make oil shoot up is if the U.S. really went like boots on the ground, or we saw something like that start to play out. I think unless something like that happens at this point, I don't think that we're going to really break back above 120 or anything. It's always possible, but we'll see. Oh, that was it. Mike TV. You know his name, Wes. That's funny. Yep, that was it. He loves watching TV. Come get me to golf, please. Hey, we could land right on the first hole, Sean. Just park our plane under the tree. I have a feeling there are already boots on the ground, just not disclosed, Xavier said. I feel like if there were U.S. boots on the ground, we would find out somehow. Oh, you looked it up? Oh, Wes. That's all right. Good morning, Elite. How are we doing today, Elite? How do you like this opening action back up so far? Although Spy's really giving it back now, but it was a nice open. Don't fight the Fed. Do you know how to do the one-man wiggle? I have no idea what you're even talking about, Mr. Fed. UPS and ServiceNow did great for Elite. Hey, I love that. Let's see, 1.1% on UPS. Now is up 2.8%. Now is starting to come back up in a pretty solid way. Look at that daily chart for now. It was dipping. It's starting to bounce off support, which is nice. Looking really solid off of that zone. If this recent low around 112 breaks, I'll get a little bit worried, but I'll be eyeing up the longer term trend at that point. It's a TikTok dance? Oh. No, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I actually don't even get on TikTok. Boeing's back at 211. You have two channels. Yeah, well, we have this live channel, and then we also have the main stocked up channel as well. Of course, the main channel with the nightly videos, where it's mainly at. Got the live over here, because you never know what's going to happen on the live. You know, you're playing some background music. They give you some copyrights or something. You know, don't want to get the main channel if something silly like that occurs, you know? Sometimes the rules are very strict. Palantir 156, beautiful resistance here overhead. Oh, awesome stuff, Alan. Palantir still selling down off resistance. Big zone up there. Failing to break. Boeing with the bounce back. That was a pretty quick bounce. Go check on Ford and General Motors. Actually doing pretty good so far today. Ford's up 2%. General Motors up as well. Okay, 1.47%. UPS on the daily still looks very rough as it pulls back. Be eyeing it up in the lower zone here. Especially down here around like 92. More like 91 to 92. That zone there. Jared says, I ate too much Jell-O. I will be back later. Thanks for going live. Be safe, Jared. Be safe. If it was the red kind, I might do that too. Thoughts on APLD for a dip buy on support? APLD is an interesting point right now. That support zone is huge on APLD. Sorry, excuse me. 1 second. I need a quick drink of Gatorade. All right, we're back. Tangy Man bought another 5 shares of APLD. Applied Digital. I do like it here on support. I also like how it's kind of straddling this trend line as well from the past. That's a pretty good sign, but the base is forming here right around $25, and that's the most important thing to see. If we do see that base give out, though, that's where I think things are going to get scary. Now, if you're buying it up for the long term and you're willing to average in, just let it play out. Just let it play out. You'll probably be just fine. APLD will be a monster in 2028, and the people who ignored it now will be crying. That's what Tangy says. I guess we'll see. Time will tell. That'll be a interesting dynamic, but it's done pretty well here the past couple of years. It's had a wild history, though, to say the least. Jake said Tangy can run all the way to the bank with his 5 shares. BBAI is in another 2028 monster candidate. That's another one. You have BBAI, Tangy says. Big Bear. This one that has a wild past too, but not quite as wild. Definitely in pullback mode right now, but 2028's a long way away. Kiara said oil short squeeze. There's crazy shorts on oil right now, and if it pumps another few percent, we could see it rocket. The password is trading floor, Sean. Password is trading floor. Here is a link that Mason sent last night in the off-topic channel, Sean. If a lot of people join up and they have fun in it this year, we'll do it next year and make it a lot more fun. Join up with the link I just sent. Use code TradingFloor to get in. Get in there. Make your brackets, guys. I know there's got to be some people out here making brackets. See if you can beat me. I don't think you can. I really don't think you're going to beat Mason. That's who I don't think you're going to beat. Mason's scared of Ryan in there. Yeah, I guess we should be scared of Ryan. With how much he watches and is into it all. I have VCU over as well. Yeah, I also have VCU. I love it. What is your favorite football team, Mr. Sir? Randy says. You know, Randy, my favorite football team. I am going to go with... It's hard for me to say because I used to just like Tom Brady. Now I don't know who to like. Probably Green Bay, I guess, if I had to pick. That's probably the team that I watch more than anything else. Green Bay. Sean says, I've filled out ESPN brackets for longer than some of you have been alive. I know, right? You really have. That's pretty funny. Mason said, I took some upsets in round of 64, so I'll either be sitting pretty really far off after the first round. I'll be sitting pretty or really far off. Me too, probably. I picked a couple, but not like big upsets. I'm worried about mine, honestly. Because I don't know anything. All right. Sorry, guys. Back to the SPY we go. Tesla's pushing the high of the day. I wonder if SPY will start to come up off of the dip here, especially if we continue to see tech pushing higher like we are. We go to the Mag 7. There's a lot of tech players moving up. Google pushing the high of the day. Tesla pushing the high of the day. Charlie Bilello posted tomorrow's news today. Breaking, no change. The Fed holds interest rates steady at 3.5 to 3.75%. Needs to see further downwards progress on inflation before cutting again. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Oh, Sean, that was 1 year after I was born. First article, Stock Labs. Yeah, it's crazy. How did they get that, though? Very interesting here. Here's the X post that we're referring to at the moment. I don't know how this came out. Maybe it's just because there's just an overwhelmingly positive chance that there's not going to be a cut. 99.1% chance of a pause at this meeting. At the next meeting, there's a 97% chance. But we have to remember, tomorrow's meeting is Jerome Powell's second to last FOMC press conference. That is huge. Jerome Powell is going to be out as chairman of the Fed. after that April 29th FOMC decision. In May, he's going to be gone. So it's going to be interesting to see June's decision. June 17th of 2026. I keep eyeing up the Kalshi odds for June because that's really where the odds have been a little close, but they just keep going further and further and further more towards pause like they did now. Doing it again. Was that a Palantir flux capacitor? PLTR. Powered up. It had a nice flux capacitor to open. Ever since it touched resistance, it hasn't, though. Who talked about it, Ariana? Hopefully it doesn't tornado here again. Ooh. Ronald said, is anybody doing jello shots tonight? Definitely not. I'm going to be working till like 11 p.m. tonight. Hell yeah. Always getting it done. Especially Tuesdays and Thursdays. Especially Tuesdays and Thursdays. Can you please look at REI quick if you get a minute? Yeah. Let's see. REI, Ring Energy. Looking at the daily chart, that's a huge jump over the past few months on REI. Jumped from around 85 cents all the way up to $1.64. Right now it's flagging. This is a big flag setup here. There it is, REI. Resistance coming up around 1.52 to 1.53. Very interesting on REI. Seriously, eye this one up, guys. This is a crazy setup. It's at the end of the flag. I could see it attempting either a big jump up and out of the flag or down under it. I lean up, given the way that it's been moving. This is a very interesting one. I normally don't eye stocks up that are $1.50 or like 80 cents or anything like that, but this one is it's a big spot for the stock, and it has been bouncing off of support. So wild one. If it falls down though, and you're long, like under $1.40 or something, yeah, you're gonna have to look at cutting. You look at AmpX and give your take on future growth. Amprius Technologies pushing resistance here. 19.40. Amprius. It looks very bullish in the short term. It's very hard to say to buy the stock for the long term up here. I would wait for a dip or maybe look to implement a cash secure put strategy to enter in over the longer term at a little bit of better pricing. But in the ultra short term, there could be swing opportunities up for sure. You know, it's pushing resistance. This is a stock that likes to move. If it breaks through resistance here, it could easily keep going, and I think that there's a good shot it does. If you were somebody looking to go long here to trade this, my big concern is, like, where do you throw the stop? Because, you know, I'd want to throw the stop all the way down here, even under that slightly, but then you got to really target high, at least like to 21 plus to get your risk reward to 1. Now, of course, you could just do it a lot shorter. You could probably look at like 1850 as like a good cut zone. And then that makes the risk reward really good. To get it to 1, you essentially just need to move to $20. So I could see a move past $20 though if we do see AMPX continue higher. And it's been a hot stock that it's continually broken out and kept running up here over the past couple of years even, I guess, so to say. With how far we're getting into 2026 now at this point. Ampex is another candidate for 2026 monster status. Little overbought right now. SanDisk and Micron going so up again, Jessroy says. Micron, ticker symbol MU. Explosive today. Look at MU breaking out through its like wedge and downtrend on the daily. That is a great move, though, with MU. Very strong price action. Earnings will be the real kicker here. They report earnings Wednesday in after hours, it looks like. So you'll have to sell it Thursday morning if you're playing it. Red Cat also reports RCAT. I have not looked at RCAT or UMAC at all today. Red Cat held its support at 3.22%. UMAC moving up to 20 as well. SanDisk and Micron going up. You said SanDisk as well, SNDK. Yeah, beautiful. It's pushing 720 though. Big resistance here on SanDisk at the moment. But I love the resistance. He is risen, said they produce 15,000 barrels a day. They will produce roughly $45 million extra each quarter if oil averages around 90 compared to 65. The market cap is only 300 million. Were you referring to which stock were you referring to there? I know we went through quite a bit. Sorry, it's been a little while ago. BA pulled back hard this morning, tried to recover back, sitting right at 211 still. I know you guys were watching this one back up a little bit, but slowed it down. DAL, Delta Airlines, American Airlines, nice moves this morning, but they are failing to break resistance. DAL stuck around 64.20, really failing to break out. Not good. You like it, Jess Roy? A lot of craziness going on here in the market right now. Looking at some headlines, still eyeing up crude oil. Everybody's still talking about the Strait of Hormuz, crude, and all of that jazz with Iran, of course. You can see constant headlines. Every morning you wake up, there's something new. As of right now, things have been cooling off a little bit, it feels like. Has been cooling off a little bit. Nothing new on the headlines at the moment, though. Not seeing anything too interesting on Bloomberg or CNBC. Nothing that really stands out to me right now. ASTS have blue skies past $100 to 110. I think I might be the move, good guy says. ASTS pushing past 100 to 110 is the move you're looking for. Let's see. It's pulling up quite well right now at the moment. 100 to 110 isn't really too far away considering how ASTS likes to move. It's a wild moving stock. There's always a shot that the uptrend could be over, but for now, the uptrend is still there and it's holding up. So I wouldn't be surprised in that case to see the uptrend continue. Of course, intraday, it's a bit high at the moment. I feel like you could catch it a bit lower, but other than that, it's all good. What about gold-related stocks? They've done pretty good today, too. GDX, gold itself hasn't really been that great, but GDX has been popping. Along with individual mining companies, like let's say Barrick, for example. AG, like silver. First Majestic Silver moving as well. Not too bad. Tomorrow we'll be live again right around 2 p.m. Eastern time for the interest rate decision. That'll be big. It's a big FOMC week here. Jerome Powell better let us know what's going on. But all right, guys. I think we're going to go ahead and call the stream there today. I appreciate everybody joining up. It's been a wild morning and a wild past few weeks, of course. But today was pretty insane with how a lot of stocks really are pushing higher. I'm not surprised. The market was looking pretty good in pre-market. And yeah, just kind of continued that overall momentum and run. So keep watching SPY. It's holding 671.50, 672 as support now intraday. If it falls under that, I'll be a bit worried of a pullback, but until that happens, I am still looking to the upside. Okay, guys, have a great rest of the day. I will talk to you later. See ya.